Hello everyone, welcome back to the Galactic Show, this time the second one after Chuck last month. It was very fun and we did our best to fix all the issues we had the first time. So today
Hopefully.
there should be no audio issue and it should be a very smooth live stream. So we're very happy to be here with you guys. If you guys want to win a Pegasus Astro box, a pocket power box, be free to enter the raffle by using the SuperChat, and we'll have a spin wheel at the very end of this.
Yes, we'll announce the winner live. Anybody who also has submitted super chats prior to the show also is able to win the raffle. So yay, good luck. Today on Galactic Show number 2, we have a very special guest that you guys already know, and that is Mr. Raffle of Astrofalls fame.
Let's welcome Raffle. Hey Bray, how are you?
Hello. Thanks for having me up. Can you hear me fine? Is my audio loud enough?
Yeah,
We can hear you. People in the audience, let us know if you can hear Bray very well. Also, if the music's too loud.
yeah, let's make sure everything is fine before we continue. Bray, can you talk just some random nonsense?
Hello, random nonsense. My name is Bray. Welcome everyone to Galactic Show number 2.
Oh, thank you. We should have hired you for that. Okay, audio is great, perfect. Awesome. So Bray, you were here last time during Chuck's episode. Yeah. Did you like it last time? Because now you're in the hot seat.
Yeah, it was great. I enjoyed every second. The production quality you guys put on for the stream was really lovely. I appreciated it a lot.
Oh, I'm
Awesome.
glad, because now we totally hyped it up to make sure that it was good. Not to rag on Chuck, because he will always be number 1. And I think, as you can see on your other monitor, you are Bray, the Duke of Discoveries.
Welcome. Because Bray recently discovered so many things. He went from discovering nothing to discovering 1,000 different things.
And I feel like people have so many questions about that,
Yeah.
which is amazing, because the first part of our show is to get to know you better. So we're going to ask you some questions, and hopefully people who submitted their questions get to hear the answer.
So how about you ask the first question, Delia, for Bray?
Yay! Alright, so here we are. So, first of all, where do you get off? Just kidding. Someone did submit that. I thought that was very funny. Good for you. It made it in. First question, what got you into Astro? Was it someone that inspired you?
I got into Astro when I saw this post on Reddit that you could see Jupiter's moons with a pair of binoculars back in 2012 probably, and I took my dad's binoculars and I went and looked at Jupiter's moons and I was like, man, that's crazy. I got to take a photo of that. So I tried using my cell phone, of course, and it was pretty bad because I was just inspired to share what I saw with my family. So then eventually I wanted to see a bit more. Obviously, just seeing Jupiter's moons is not enough. So I got a 4.5-inch Orion Star Blast Newt on an EQ mount. And I used that to shoot planets and some really terrible...
You?
I was 14, I think. 14,
Oh, little
15.
Bray.
Yeah, tiny little Bray in parents' backyard. But yeah, I got started off of a Reddit post, and Jupiter's moons was what inspired me. Just being able to realizing there's stuff in the sky that you can see with, telescopes or cameras that you can't see with your naked eye. Kind of opened up a whole new world.
I love that. We all start our Astro journey a little different, and a round of applause for Bray's parents for, letting you do it. Be like, hey, can I have this? And they're like, sure.
Yeah, it changed your life, I guess, in a way.
Enabling, that's the word.
There was a point where financially they would not just let me have things. Of course, after the first telescope, which was like 200, I kind of had to get my... Can't ask them for a plane wave yet, but yeah, I started packing groceries when I was 16 because I was like, I need to pay for a DSLR and a lens, so it forced me to start working.
That's good.
Which has been beneficial for me.
And I believe you grew up in Arizona, right?
Yes, I grew up in Cave Creek, Arizona, which is a great spot to grow up if you're doing Astro.
Mm-hmm.
You got 300 clear nights per year, 30-minute drive from dark skies. Doesn't really get much better.
And so you've been around lately, around Arizona, California. You've lived in Utah. Which state is your favorite in terms of Astro to live in?
Ooh, for Astro, it's odd. I mean, each state has their own offerings as to what's the best. Like Utah offers so much flavor for landscape that's really unbeatable.
Truly, agree.
California is where one of my telescopes lives permanently, and it has seeing that's better than anywhere else I could get. So on that front, it's nice. And then Arizona, just the number of clear nights is absurd. So probably for deep sky, I'd say California. For if you're longer focal length, wide field stuff, Arizona is really cool. And then if you're just doing landscape, then Utah is pretty hard to beat.
Where have you liked to live so far?
I really liked LA. Honestly, I think of the places I've lived so far, LA was probably the most fun.
Okay. I mean, there's a lot of stuff to do there, so agree.
Yes.
That's the one
visit.
place I would never live in.
It's definitely a visit, and then I'm gonna come back home type of thing. There's just something in the water over there. Sorry, LA.
Yeah, it's not the same as it was.
It's changed a lot. So next question. The title that we chose for you was Duke of Discoveries. For obvious reason, you've made a lot of discoveries lately. So the question is, let's talk about that. How many have you done? Which one is your favorite?
Well, right now officially there's only like 2, but like in the emails of the guy who approves them, I have like 15. So
unofficially.
Yes, unofficially. There's this one French guy, his name's Pascal Ledoux, who has a very keen eye, and he approves your discovery or rejects it.
Oh,
so he's very hard to get approval from because he's very discerning, but also he's on vacation until like the 17th.
It is the summer of vacances.
Someone in our Discord chat he thinks he discovered something near a galaxy, and he sent an email to Pascal, but hasn't heard back. So I'm guessing because it's on vacation. Yeah, good to know.
Yeah, it's hard to get in his good graces, so to speak, or to get him to reply quickly. It could be months.
Yeah.
3 months. It's a huge bottleneck with images, but it kind of like helps mediate or moderate the process for all the amateurs in kind of a way that's fair.
Yeah.
So I kind of like it, but the way I got into it is I started doing mosaics a bunch, and we all know Marcel Drexler, his images on Astrobin, and I was just thinking, there's probably something in these mosaics somewhere, and I started sending him data, and I sent him my Vulpecula and mosaic, the big 9-panel one. And that helped him confirm like 3 or 4 discoveries. So he invited me to participate in some projects. And one of the projects was the M31 arc, which of course was pretty insane.
M31.
Yeah, M31 is just crazy these days. Yeah, it's the best. But after I got involved with that, I was like, if there's a thing right next to Andromeda, then there's probably stuff everywhere and nobody has looked, so we might as well just go looking at random spots. And then
literally the sky is yours. But I would assume, as everybody else would online that's watching, because we're not all dummies, not to send every single thing to this guy, just something that is like worth looking at, right? How do you tell?
That's honestly one of the hardest parts. I'm pretty sure I annoy the heck out of him. I send him so many things, and a lot of the things I've sent are not of good quality. I try to like update and tell him like disregard this. I ended up finding out later on.
Which is kind, honestly, because following up, you're just like, let it go and be like, nope, there was nothing there. But you could have been like saving him the time. That's actually very kind.
Yeah, he could have blocked you.
Yeah, emailing things to Marcel is a good idea. Usually Marcel has been like super helpful to everyone as like a figurehead in the community for just telling you if your thing is bad or not. And he's kind of been my mentor for figuring out if things are worth looking at or not. Like I used to send him a bunch of lens flares. I've imaged lens flares for like 15 hours at a time because I thought there was something, but they were really nothing.
That's interesting.
But you kind of have to learn a bit about astrophysics, a little bit, how to navigate the catalogs. and how to get like a theory for why your thing is there. If you can get a good theory as to why a thing exists, like if you have a white dwarf, obviously that's like a smoking gun. That's something that Pascal can work with super easily. Like he doesn't have to dig, but for other things that have higher complexity or maybe unknown origin, then it's questionable whether or not Pascal will approve, and it's a whole ordeal. It's a struggle, but
Oh my.
So just so we don't skip any questions and later on, let's go over those two here. What are some tips to discover stuff, Bray? From Brody Mink 45.
Tips. I don't want to give away too many secrets, but I
That's
think
okay. You know what? Fair.
the method to my madness is pretty low intelligence. Like I don't know that much about astrophysics. I'm literally just doing O3 surveys, so that's all I'm doing. I know you guys probably saw Nico's discovery, that reflection.
Yeah.
Yes. Beautiful. Love that.
Yeah, so stuff like that is pretty cool. My recommendation would just be to keep a keen eye out in your images, like just comb over everything in a fine way and have an open mind as to whether or not something is known or not. I mean, even if it is, you have a chance to learn something new in a photo or something interesting. And potentially something new may exist in anyone's photos. Like my first nebula, Falls Object 1, someone already shot it like 6 months prior to me shooting it. And they posted a photo with the telescope live, and it's like very plainly there. But, you know, if they had taken if they took a keen eye and like followed up on some things, then they would have noticed it. But yeah, it's just about keeping an open mind and looking for smudges and crazy things.
Well, that's all on you, Antoine, because I have bad eyes.
We took a picture of M37 about 6 months ago, and there was a nebula within it, but that was discovered like I think 7 months prior. So I was like, no. There was like I think 1 or 2 pictures online of that.
But
That was a close call. Yeah.
You can't beat yourself up about it.
Yeah.
Also, I think that's also something fair to say. I don't know if you want to chime in on that, Bray. Is like, don't beat yourself up about it if you were just there and then you didn't see it. You know, I'm sure that guy that was like, "Oh man, fall one could have been mine." You know, would have is feeling the same way.
Yeah, there's if you like go through the process to actually look for something, you'll do a lot of beating yourself up. I mean, it's inevitable. There'll be a lot of near misses, a lot of especially with Marcel and Xavier's objects. Like if you go looking for things in like a consistent way, like honestly, 80% of the time you think you found something new, it's one of their things because they've just been so expensive.
They're going crazy. Like on Astrobase, non-stop discoveries and discoveries and discoveries. It's insane.
Yeah.
Wow.
And Brian asks, what does he actually do to confirm or deny his objects? I'm guessing there is a scientific process, or is it just a kind of comparing catalogs? Do you know?
Yeah, so it's comparing or cross-referencing a couple catalogs. There's one, well, there's a couple different databases. There's the Hash, which is I forget what it stands for, but it's a planetary nebula database. That's one place you go to check to see if something's new or not. You can also go to the CDS Strasbourg catalog website. Also gives you a good idea of what's going on. If you find something new and it doesn't show up in either of those places, then you're kind of like, oh, maybe I need to start digging a bit more. There's this other thing. There's a catalog, a UK catalog of galactic supernova remnants that has about 300 known galactic supernova remnants. Also important to cross-reference because...
I love the way you say remnants, by the way.
Remnants, yeah. There's a lot of unphotographed but known galactic supernova remnants, so it's always important to check that. That's like my one weak spot is I didn't know about the list of supernova remnants until like 2 weeks ago, so I've just been sending off known supernova remnants to Pascal for no reason. So there's that. But once you get past all those things, then you dig through the Vizier catalogs and you look for like a giveaway star, like a white dwarf, a hot subdwarf type star. And if you have a giveaway star and your object and it doesn't show up anywhere, then you send it to Pascal and say, please approve. Then you wait 3 to 4 months, and then maybe he says, no, not good enough. And then
with his French accent.
Yes.
Hey, Nico is here. Welcome, Nico, and congrats, on your discovery.
Yeah,
it's
on your
really
hummingbird.
awesome.
Beautiful. Love the name.
Beautiful.
I don't know how you do it. Just, Just so good.
We'll have to try imaging it too, and it'll be fun.
So I hope you guys all loved digging into Bray's brain for that a little bit. Everyone's like losing their collective minds right now. They're like, and now they're gonna run into all those catalogs. So.
And one last thing about this subject, Damien says, to be fair, so much stuff is discovered by chance. The more you are out imaging, the more chance you have. I agree, but at the same time, if you take your time using specific filters like O3, for example, and do surveys like Bray's doing, you have, of course, much more chance to find something. It's not just luck, I think. It's just...
so, good luck.
Yeah.
Things pop out of nowhere all the time. Space is the vast reaches. You don't know what's happening out there. But more questions from the community. Those are actually our questions to you. These are questions from the community now. Sorry, everybody. Us first. Scenario for you, Bray. If you could only ever use one telescope, which one are you picking? And then add-on question to that, what's your favorite telescope?
It's the same question.
Ooh.
No, it's not. It could be.
If I could only use one telescope, I feel like I would want something that's like 1,000 millimeter focal length and fast. Probably a Delta Rho, like something middle of the road, but fast would be my pick. Either a Delta Rho or like a large newt would probably be the move, I would think.
Nice diffraction spikes.
Yes.
Yes, yeah, minus those. My favorite telescope.
Yeah, we're big fans of diffraction spikes in this house.
Yeah, they're cool on some objects and other ones.
Maybe
it's distracting. It depends on the scope too. Like the E130, the diffraction spikes are just like in your face.
Oh, really?
But for other telescopes, it's a bit more mild. It's just hit or miss on which scope it is.
Mm-hmm.
So which one's your favorite?
Probably the 106, the Takahashi, I would say.
Oh, wow, I'm telling all your other telescopes. I'm telling them.
I mean, FSQ 106 is one of the best in the world for that for that wide field range. So it's an amazing scope.
Yeah.
Sure.
It has a long history with a bunch of people, and it's very versatile with the reducers. It's kind of like the ASCAR one that came out with all the swappable lenses.
We got this one, 3.9. It's pretty good. Oh no, you mean the new one with the swapping lenses? Okay.
Yeah, it's like the OG version of that, but the adapters for Takahashi are such a nightmare. It's impractical. You usually just leave it at one thing and forget it. But
and how fast is yours right now? F3 something?
Yeah, F3.6.
Oh, that's good.
Ooh, nice.
Yeah.
People love that burning question. Oh, we got an extra one here.
Yeah, somebody asked something right here. Oh, how do you like Astro as a full-time job? Is it stressful? From Brad Kevin.
Yeah, sometimes it is, sometimes it isn't. The stress of doing it full-time isn't as bad as the existential suffering from working in a job I didn't like. So pick your poison kind of thing. It's it's a unique position, and I'm grateful to even be able to have it as a option. So it is stressful, but worth it.
Yeah, I agree on this. Like the most stressful part is you never know how much you're gonna earn the next month. You never know, because it always depends on your links and all that. So it's very stressful sometimes, but when you compare to
working in a box all day, working with coworkers you totally hate, people that talk to you just to hear their own voice.
I do miss coworkers. I only have one now, but but yeah, I mean overall I think it's still better than having a boss. And
that's why you gotta go out more. Are you an extrovert or an introvert? Because Chuck told us he was an introvert, and I was like, but also not surprised because this is a lonely thing that we do. Are you in between, ambivert maybe?
I think I'm kind of in between, honestly. Lanchan's definitely more of an extrovert, but she likes to go out and, dance. I'm not so much of a person who likes dancing, but I do like talking to people. I like star parties. Like when it's the right situation, I'm more of an extrovert. But as a job, it's voluntary.
Yeah, she's extrovert. I'm, I guess, in between, but yeah.
You gotta have your extroverted girly with you, because then she takes you out, and then you're like, okay, I'm good for the next week.
Yeah, exactly.
Question. I'm like rephrasing this because this one.
Well, you don't have to rephrase it.
It sounded weird to me. So, I think it'd be interesting for everybody to know. Someone asked, do you feel like you're taking the easy way out by remote imaging to get your photos in comparison to going out to a dark site with a physical setup? Because I think the word that they use was like, do you feel like it's cheating? And I'm like, that kind of sounds ugly, but
I don't think it's ugly. I think it's
my own thoughts to say about that. Actually, we do, so you can, if you need a moment to think, Bray. I think
it's a good question.
Point one for us is like we use it to capture stuff that, like when we're remote imaging with another setup, for example, there's stuff that we can't capture from here. I'm not going to find myself in the southern hemisphere anytime soon, so I'm not really cheating by getting data from that or using it in any way. And also, this is literally our job. We're like super committed to doing this, being out there all the time. Sometimes the weather doesn't work out for us, but also remote imaging from a dark zone, which typically remote observatories are at, gives us more of a chance to get more data. And again, since we're committed, that's worth it to us.
Okay, I'm going to make it very simple. My answer is yes, it's cheating. That's for sure. But at the same time, I mean, because I used to be like very envious of that, you know, like, oh, he has an observatory, like
True.
this guy. And I'm stuck here with no backyard, you know. And now that I have access to that, it's true, it's cheating when you compare to most people. But at the same time, like you can produce more and it's worth it, I guess. It's cheating in a way, but it's still...
I don't think it's cheating if you're committed. That's where that's where my stance is.
If you care enough, it's not cheating. Like you don't.
Yes.
Yeah. What do you think?
Yeah, I would say like you wouldn't ask the ESA like if putting the VLT in Chile is cheating. Like there is only one place for it to be. The nature of the work requires it to be there, and it's the same way with what I'm doing. Like the nature of the images requires this much time and these dark skies, and they can't be done any other way. So I'm not gonna suffer for no reason. And the other thing is like the cost. If you were to like travel to produce the kinds of images that require these amount of times is actually significantly more than just doing it remote. So I mean, it's the way professional observatories do it. Yeah, it's a lot of energy, a lot of sleep destruction. There is something to be said for having the in-person experience, but it's a question of the practicality and the types of images that simply cannot be produced from the backyard where you live. They have to be done in these spots, and it's the only way. So if I was born and I had a backyard in these places, then obviously I would have a backyard.
Now that's cheating.
Yes, that would be cheating to be born in the right spot, but I mean, it's the only way to get the photos. So
yeah,
agreed.
A couple of questions here. Brody MK45. Now I can pronounce it right. What's your favorite color palette, Bray? I'm going to guess Hubble, but go ahead.
I like HOO now more honestly. I don't really like SHO images anymore. I don't really like shooting a sulfur either. I haven't used a sulfur filter in maybe like a year.
Oh wow!
Honestly.
Wow.
So it's mostly just HOO RGB for me.
Sulfur has some great fine details usually in most nebulae.
Yeah, and some like the Eagle Nebula, it's really cool, but for a lot of the nebula I've been shooting recently, there's just there's no S2 at all, and I can't really blend it in a pretty way. And I like the magenta and the cyan. It's like it's a good color combo.
Isn't it with the Kyber crystal? That's how I know it as. That's like I like how colored that one is. So I like the way that you process that.
Thank you. Yeah, that one's HOO too. It had like almost no sulfur in it. There's only like 3 streaks in the top left, so it's like, what's the point of adding it?
So cool.
And Catherine asks, what's your long-term goal with Astro?
I would say get good at making long-form YouTube videos is probably the immediate goal. And the other goal is just to take good images that are creative. That's my answer.
Like it. I mean, if you make more of that, like $20 telescope, I love that.
We'll mention this later.
Palette cleanser question. Unless you want to take.
Well, we still have questions, but I guess we can't stay on this forever. So
no, because we have to move on. It was just a 15-minute game.
Okay, say your question.
Palette cleanser, because we just want to clean up from this conversation. So, what's something that people don't know about you that's not astro related?
I I like growing plants a lot and gardening. You probably know, of course, the watermelon stuff.
Yes.
I surely remember that one.
Yeah, I really enjoy growing plants. I can't really do it though because I don't have a backyard where I can grow things anymore. But yeah, I like gardening. I like hiking a lot.
Would you say you're a gardener?
I would say that.
Okay.
Part-time astrophotographer, part-time gardener.
That's
Oh my god,
badass.
we love that. That's like a perfect combo. Like farmer, astrophotographer.
Yeah, you got to live on the farm with the observatory on the farm.
Yeah.
That's
That'd
the
be
goal. That's the long-term goal.
Okay, now I'm going to say something that people don't know, but that I know about Bray, is that... Are you scared? Is that Bray loves to wear flip-flops wherever he goes imaging. Wherever, whenever, whatever the cost. There can be a mountain lion, he doesn't care, scorpions, snakes. Are you still doing that?
It's the best shoe for any occasion, especially in the desert. Like, I don't want to get sweaty socks and feet when it's hot out there. I'd rather just go sandals only.
Okay.
Fair. That's fair. It's a summertime fashion.
It is. It is.
Yay.
Alright, so I guess we'll move on to the targets we have in mind to cover. So Bray gave us two targets he likes to talk about, and we'll cover that. But first, guys, before we forget, remember you can win a Pegasus Astro Pocket Power Box. This right here is the old version, but the new one is much better. They're going to send it to you right away from there.
So yes, if you'd like to enter for a chance to win a super chat of any amount, no big deal. Between now and the cutoff time, so good luck.
It's going to ship brand new to you straight from Pegasus Astro.
Yes.
So thank you so much, Pegasus Astro, for
sponsoring this.
And so yeah, let's talk about the two targets that you wanted to cover, Bray. Let me just open this really quick here.
And I'm pretty sure we already had talked about one.
Yeah, let's see.
Antoine doesn't want to show all his stuff on his computer.
Yeah, it's always scary to do
He's
that.
got so many folders, man. He's got so many folders.
Alright, so now you guys should see my screen in just a second here.
Yeah.
And so here, Bray, you imaged, let's start with Fall Object 1. So Kyber Crystal Nebula. You spent 83 hours and 50 minutes on this. I believe it's in Monoceros, not far from M50. So what do you think of this image? Is this one of your favorite ones that you've taken recently? How did it feel to process this? Any tips for people trying to recreate this at some point?
Editing that was very difficult because I hadn't really edited anything quite like it other than the oxygen arc by Andromeda before. The thing with these faint oxygen things is you can't be afraid to nuke them like really hard.
Ooh.
Like median filters and just killing it with topaz, but like getting rid of the artifacts, but just nuke the heck out of it, because with these things they're so faint that you can have a super noisy image, or you could just nuke it and then add a little bit of noise back in to make it natural again.
I just love the way that you say nuke it. I just love some of the phrases that
You
you
know
say.
everything about Bray. Should I be concerned?
Shut up. I like it. I enjoy it. It's so casual. Like you're so casual about.
When he says nuke,
I like
casually.
it. Who in this field is gonna say you just need to nuke it? Like that's a Bray Falls. That's an Astrofalls.
I own that phrase now. It's copyrighted.
TM trademarked. It's in the mail.
Exactly.
So was this your original framing, or did you have to like slew again to just recenter it at some point once you discovered it or something?
So I think this was my second framing of it. I had like a single sub that showed it faintly,
Okay.
and then I did a follow-up reframed that had one night's worth of data, and then I just stuck with that one framing because I didn't want to ditch having a night. And yeah, it was a lot of exposure time. It took a long time too because the El Nino weather this last winter was
Oh man.
yeah, it was a big challenge to capture everything for it. I would have liked to get more data as well. I mean, 83 hours is a lot, but like with the low surface brightness oxygen things, it's never enough, and that's why you have to always nuke some things, because otherwise I'd be sitting here for like a year and a half shooting the same thing, and that's just not practical to do. So
Yeah. And you said there was just a tiny bit of S2 in this picture, or was it this one?
yeah, for that one. So the top left edge in this view of the image is by far the brightest part of the nebula.
Mm-hmm.
I could see it in a single subframe. It was pretty noisy though, and not that top left, but the actual nebula itself.
Okay.
It has a little HA and a little S2, like on the part where it has the jagged edges.
Okay.
But other than that, it's just not there at all. It's only O3. The
Good to
surrounding region does have a lot of S2 and a lot of HA, but the nebula itself is just all O3. It's super weird.
And we have a question here asking, can you discover something in like a bottle 5, for example?
Never say never. I mean, if you go looking for things, then you never know what there is. It might just take you more time. The setup I have is kind of accidentally optimized for noticing things quickly.
Good.
But I wouldn't say it's yeah, you could probably have discovered this from Bortle 5. It would take you a lot of time though, probably more than 80 hours, certainly.
Okay.
I love the optimism. Never say never.
Hey, Brad says if you have like a joint star party and charge $50 a pop, it would go. We can become rich, Bray. Let's do it. Everyone come.
Everybody's invited.
Maybe one
The
day.
next
Who knows?
the Starfest, not Fire Festival.
Where would I host such a star party?
Yeah.
That would be cool to do a star party though.
Okay, and so this one, so far I think that nobody else has taken a picture of this. I'm not sure, but if you guys want to try, it's in Monoceros, not far from M50. And if you go on Bray's Astrobin, you'll see a whole write-up.
High resolution, also better than this YouTube quality.
And a whole write-up with the location and everything else. So give it a try. Second, I want to talk about your Rho Ophiuchi, which I love so much.
Yes,
I think one of my
Rho.
favorites from you. You spent 22 hours on Rho Ophiuchi, or Fuki, whatever you say it. Do you have any tips for people who want to shoot this?
Go to the Southern Hemisphere would be my number one.
Oh, good point.
Dang, you really call everybody in the Northern Hemisphere is going boo.
Yeah, because it's very low.
Yeah, it's always a struggle with Rho, and it's the uncomfortable reality is that, like, from anywhere in America or Europe, it never clears 30 degrees. If you're in America, you could go to Big Bend National Park, and that would probably be great, but yeah, it's just so low.
I'm shooting it right now from Utah, and I can only spend like 2 hours max each night, and it's so annoying.
Yeah, you're so limited. You have to go somewhere where it's like super clear south, ideally like high elevation, and there's not a lot of places like that. It's the high desert in the Big Bend or like the Sky Islands in southern Arizona and New Mexico are like the best spots.
Lucky.
Otherwise, it's just like a night by night struggle.
Oh.
From Namibia, it only took 2 nights to do it because it goes through zenith. So it was like
Oh wow.
10
you were in the
hours.
south for this? Oh wait, where did you shoot this from?
Namibia.
Oh yeah, that's right.
That is
Yeah.
in
Which
the Southern Hemisphere.
Because you have a scope there now, which is relatively new. I think a few months, right? And it was really amazing. Yeah.
Yeah, it's been running now for like 4 months or so. But yeah,
Nice.
from there, it's
Excellent.
directly overhead. It's so much easier from the right spot.
Yeah, your row is so beautiful.
And
like,
so yeah.
Wow.
One of the best for sure. And on this picture, guys, you can see, if you're not very familiar with this target, I believe the bright yellow star here, I think is Antares. And then above that, you have M4, the globular cluster, which is really cool. So you have also a messy object to check off on your list when you capture this target. And you have so much dark nebulosity all around, which is really nice. And then the last one, well, before I move on, this is a picture of Rho Ophiuchi with a 135mm lens. That was taken, I think, 3 years ago, so it's kind of old. But
yeah, we had intended to do it one time, and then it didn't work out, and then we did it again. We made a video about it.
But just so you guys can see the
episode.
wide field view of it, and you see how far the dark cloud tail goes off. It's just magnificent.
We love dark clouds in this house.
And then the last one I want to cover with Bray is his image of the Crescent Nebula.
Which is so popular right now. I don't know if you've been like flipping through Instagram and stuff, but like Crescent's just popping up everywhere.
Cygnus is up, so when Cygnus is up, usually people go straight to...
I love to see it. People are like, wham, just hitting you in the face with the Crescents.
And that was taken with a CDK-24, so a huge plane wave telescope, and for 15 hours of exposure.
Yes,
Do tell
that
some
one...
stuff about this.
Yeah, how you processed it. Like, I can see that color palette you're talking about. Like, it really is like evident in your work. I'm like, that's an Astrofalls picture.
Oh, thanks. Yeah, that one was just straight HOO, I think. There is a little S2, but I never end up incorporating it in a way that looks good, so I usually just kick it out. This one doesn't have any RGB either, so I think the stars are just straight narrowband. Okay. Yeah, this was captured with one of my clients at SRO. His name is John Downing. I help edit some of his images, and with the CDK-24 from there, it's super crisp and it's really nice.
I bet.
Love to see it.
It's beautiful. And just for fun,
just for some shits and giggles,
a comparison. We just shot as well the Crescent Nebula, but this time using a very small, the Vespera smart telescope.
Yes.
So you can see it here, which is honestly not bad for such a scope.
Yeah.
And there's just so much gas visible all around, and that was taken from home, so with an uncooled sensor, which is pretty impressive.
Been consistently like 100 degrees here, so it's putting in some work, I would say.
Let's see, this is a wide field, and you can zoom in to Bray's version, which is just a huge close-up, and it's just beautiful.
It's not bad for a smart telescope, especially in the heat.
Honestly, yeah.
I'm so used to in Phoenix with it being like 100 at night, and your cameras can't even cool down to 0.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Ooh-wee.
And now that we covered those 3 targets with Bray, let's quickly go over what's in the sky this month. Just 5 of the best targets you can shoot if you need ideas. And Dalia, can you help me here? I have my catalog open. So this is where I keep all my files, all the pictures that I have.
Everybody take screenshots now!
Look at all there is in like the past, 7-8 years? I mean, there is no duplicates, so this is all like different objects. So what do we have first, Dalia?
Updating. So 5 good targets to do this month. You will start out with the ever popular Eagle Nebula. It's perfect for 4th of July that just passed. Can you hear the screeching like from the eagle?
And we just shot this target like this week. This is an old version because we haven't shared the new one yet. But
Patreons saw it first.
Yes. But this is a very wide field view with a small refractor. And that was a very old picture. I don't like it anymore.
And you can see like pillars of creation in there too.
Pillar of creation and
tiny
the wings.
Pillars. But that is something you can capture this month. So go ahead and put that on your list of things to capture because we got 4 more coming at you. So that's number 1. Number 2 is M8 and M20 collectively.
We haven't shot this one for a long time too.
It's been a while.
Look at this. Oh, I hate it.
Don't say that.
Look at those purple stars.
Okay,
it's a shame.
We all get better in time.
Okay.
Let's not be mean to ourselves. Let's be kind to ourselves and enjoy the process. But
look at this tilt.
So Antoine, please, we're trying to be positive here.
So M8 and M20 are very close together. Those are a good double target to capture, I guess.
Yes.
They usually fit in the same frame as a wide telescope.
So although that's 2 targets, you can get them individually, but you can also get them together, which make up number 2. Number 3 is M57, the Ring Nebula.
I can't open that. It's so old. It's been shot in 2016.
Okay, fine, don't do it.
With a DSLR camera.
Don't
okay, fine.
Wow.
Look at this star. There is a black dot in this star. Horrible. Anyway, this is an old picture. That's literally like 6-7 years old of M57, which is a good target for now. If you have a big telescope, it's a perfect target. It's a very small, I think the smallest of the Messier objects. So
it's a cute little thing.
One. Yeah, very bright, very hard to process.
If it makes you feel better, you'll do better than we ever did because I think that was probably the last time that we took it.
We reshot this target I think last year, but we still haven't processed it because it's just a pain to process.
It's a hard
one. That is another. Have you gotten that one, Bray?
I have, but my images were so bad. It needs to be redone because I'm just ashamed of them at this point.
Same. It's very hard to process when you like RGBHA. It's
So, I mean, we would consider these, like, the 3 I just mentioned, like, beginner level. If you want to get a little sassy, if you want to get a little bit of a challenge, you might want to go for NGC 6888.
which we just covered.
The Crescent Nebula.
The Crescent Nebula, which is also an old picture here.
Yes.
But the main point about imaging this, to challenge yourself, is to also get the Soap Bubble Nebula, which you can see on the left here.
Little circle.
It's a very faint O3 nebula, and this was also discovered by an amateur
Astrophotographer.
yeah, just like all of
Just
us.
like Bray!
Yeah, that was discovered a few years ago.
That wasn't planned.
And, that's a good target.
I love when things work out just like that.
And lastly, we have
the Elephant's Trunk Nebula, also designation is IC 1396.
Trunk, which is
I feel like I had just seen this one recently of ours, and I also did not love.
Yeah, that's not an amazing.
Another on
image.
the redo list.
All of them are on the redo list.
So.
But yeah, those are 5 good targets for this month. If you guys need some ideas, you can image one of these ones. Those are all high in the sky, besides like maybe the lagoon. Yeah, very good. And then I think next we have the trivia.
Oh my!
Which we'll have to ask 10 questions to Bray. One more time, guys. After the trivia, we'll have the raffle. So if you guys want to enter the raffle,
now is the time.
Just use SuperChat and you'll win. This is an old version, but you'll win a brand new version of the Pegasus Astro Pocket Power Box V2, which is very useful for any rig. Really, it will help you power your cables very simply.
And hopefully help you, progress in your astro journey, because we're always trying to get better, and stuff is expensive.
And it's going to ship right straight from Pegasus Astro, so very good. All right, so now we'll have to do the trivia, which is going to be very fun.
Fabulous questions for Mr. Bray Falls.
Wait, so last time with Chuck, we got very, very easy questions on purpose.
So now these are going to be extra hard?
No.
Because you're the Duke of Discoveries.
No, those ones are going to be a bit more difficult because Bray, I know, is smart, so he can do it. I'm not saying Chuck's not smart, but I know Bray is above, like all of us.
Stop talking.
Well, look, I know for sure. So we'll go over 10 questions, and you have just a few seconds to answer. Let's go to the trivia screen right now.
We might get stuck on stuff, but that's okay because it gives everybody a chance to get in.
And let's turn the music of trivia on. Okay, here we go.
Ooh, okay, hot seat for you. First question.
Wait, prepare your app first.
I have it ready.
Okay.
I have it ready. Okay, first question for you. What is the largest deep sky object you can capture from the southern hemisphere?
Is that the Antlia supernova remnant?
No, it's a bit tricky, but think bigger, much bigger.
The Milky Way? Oh, you mean like in angular size or in like
apparent size?
Oh, in apparent size. Is it not the Milky Way? The Large Magellanic?
The Milky Way, yeah.
Small
LMC,
Magellanic?
you said it. Yeah,
LMC?
that one.
I got that.
Specific to the south, yes. That's
Antoine fed that to you.
No, it's correct. You had it right. It's correct. The LMC. So wait. Let me show them what this looks like.
You're like 10 seconds for each question, but take forever.
Here you guys can see this is a large Magellanic Cloud, which is the largest object from the south that you can capture, I believe, at least. I looked it up, so it says yes. And then above that is a small one, so you can see both clouds there. Someone says Carina Nebula. I think Carina is the largest nebula, but the object itself would be this
DSO.
dwarf galaxy here. All right.
So you get 1 point, yay!
1 point so far. Next, I will
question.
say the second question here. What date, or at least the year, if you don't know the date, did you get your very first iPod?
Is that like November 2021? 2019, 2018.
Pick one.
So a lot.
Pick one.
I think it was November 2018.
Okay, wait. Okay, that's correct.
You were so close to not getting
Do you know which
I'm
day?
surprised.
Do you know which day?
13th?
Which one?
13th?
No, it
No,
was
the 3rd.
the 5th.
Dang it.
Yeah.
At least I
And
got it.
you guys can see it here.
You've just got so many A-pods. How can you keep track?
It was the California Nebula, so A-pod, congrats. It must have been the very first one of many. And
Yeah, how many do you have now? If you don't mind me asking.
I think it's like 6 or 7.
Okay, because I counted 7 and I didn't want to be wrong.
okay, so everyone says like the Gum Nebula is bigger than the LMC. I'm confused now.
Ooh, the children are fighting!
Because we looked it up
Yeah.
and it did say LMC, but I guess the
For like
Gum
an
is
object with a catalog number, I think LMC technically because it has a number, but the Gum Nebula is just kind of like it's
I
the
guess
Gum
so.
Nebula. You
Yeah,
can't
it's
really
huge.
look at it with the telescope because it's so big.
We'll have to. Oh, someone checked. Well, no way. Gum is like 36 and LMC is 10. 10 only.
So you guys
Yeah.
are telling me you want Bray to lose. Shame on you. You're trying to
I
minus
think the
one.
Alien supernova remnant is bigger than the Gum, though. Maybe.
We'll have to triple check later, but I guess you'll still have your point. It's okay. You still win.
Love. Okay,
As long as it gets the point.
Okay, Dalia will have the
Yay.
third question.
third question. You imaged an object recently described as a nebula with an identity crisis. What is the name of that nebula?
Oh God.
Uh,
It's like SNRG 013-013. It's like two 13s.
you got so many numbers in there. I feel.
He almost got all the numbers right, but just tell us the regular name that it has.
It technically doesn't have a name. I called it the Theta Muscae
Yeah,
supernova
there you go.
remnant.
Okay, that's what we got. Yeah.
That's funny you didn't remember.
I didn't mean to make you do all those. I wrote them down anyway, but I was like,
Which
oh no,
is-
he's really going for it.
Yeah, SNRG 304.4-3.1.
Which is
Yeah, that was a
lot.
good question. I never remember the SNR numbers. It's so lost on me.
And you guys can see it right here. Yep, a very beautiful one.
So amazing.
That's a beautiful one.
Love
Yeah.
that one. And again, very reflective of your style of editing.
I love it.
Now that I know,
Thanks.
I'm never gonna unsee that. So you just put that in my brain forever.
All right, next question I will say is number 4. That's an easy one if you know your Messier catalog. What is the nickname of Messier 94?
Oh God. That's a galaxy, isn't it? M94? Isn't it like crocodile or something, or am I tripping?
No,
It's-
you have one more
it's a
try.
The alligator crocodile eye galaxy.
There is no alligator galaxy in the world.
I don't know why I'm thinking of crocodiles and alligators with M94. This
Okay,
must
I
be
will,
like
I will
some-
show you the picture just so you can see. The picture appears on your screen now.
Oh,
This
it's okay.
is the galaxy itself. It is M94, the cat's eye galaxy.
Oh God, I didn't mean to do that.
Oh,
I'm so sorry.
That's
got the
rude.
wrong.
But actually, you know what? I was a trick because I knew it was a kind of a trap because I know one time you told me you didn't really learn the nicknames for the Messier and all that. So I knew that from last time and I put it in there.
Yeah, especially the galaxies. I have no idea.
It was
Okay.
the cat's eye galaxy, everybody. Messier 94.
Okay, next one is gonna be funny.
Ooh, fun question. Okay, what was your very first Instagram image that is still active today?
Look at the cat behind.
Chester!
Move! Jump!
That's Chester. He's living with us now. Yay!
Oh.
It's a friend's cat, but he's anyway.
He's our baby boy. Anyway,
So trivia, yes. So what's your
I
very
know.
first?
There's a photo of a thunderstorm, like very close to the beginning. I don't know if that one's it. If that's not it, it's probably like a wide-angle Milky Way image, but I can't remember.
So the first
I right?
picture, yeah.
it was the clouds.
So the first picture that Bray still has active on his Instagram is clouds. I mean, for an astrophotographer, you would wonder why, right?
But that is a really.
You would expect
awesome
like a
picture.
beautiful nebula or planet. No, it's clouds. But it's a storm going on, so it's interesting.
Yeah,
So you guys
the
can see it
story
here.
with that shot was funny because we were it was supposed to clear up later that night, and it did. I was with a bunch of my friends from high school, and the cops came up to us, and they were like, "What are you doing out here?" And we're like, "We're out here to look at the Milky Way." And then he looked at the thunderstorm, and he's like, "I can't see any stars. Like, I don't know what you're talking about." And I'm like, "It's gonna get clear later. It's fine. I'm not selling drugs in the desert."
He's like, y'all smoking, y'all drinking, and
Yeah.
you're like, no, please, sir, we're just stargazing, please.
And when you're getting started, like in the hobby, you're so excited. You always think the clouds will go away. Like you always have so much hope.
And
Yeah.
they know, sometimes never do. Chester, please!
Look, someone named Chester is like, wait, what?
I'm sorry, I need to get him out of there. That's a telescope box.
He's in the Rasa box.
Everybody
he's
say
in
hi,
the box.
Chester. Aw, hi,
Aw.
Chesty, my bestie. Goodbye. Goodbye.
Our regular cat Gilbert hates Chester.
They're becoming friends, slowly.
Anyway, so next question will be number 6. Well, I guess you have to ask this one.
Yes. Okay. So it's super duper fun. A little like unearthed memory. Why would you take it away? I
Oh,
was looking
sorry.
at that.
Go.
The first time Antoine had watermelon was also the first time that we all met. When was that? What year was that?
That was May of 2020.
That was May, not July. Yeah, that was May.
I don't know why I thought July.
Look, I'm eating my first watermelon and Bru is behind me. So, just so you guys know, this picture was like a fun portrait mode thing. So there was like black edges on each side. So I had to use like Photoshop AI generative fill. And so it came up with this. So I have no idea who those guys are. There's a guy holding like a dead fish or something on the left side with 3 hands.
That's horrible, Antoine. I don't. Why would you do this? I didn't even know
It
you
was
were
black
doing
bands
this.
on each side. I couldn't just leave black bands.
Oh my.
So yeah, this is Bray and I. He gave me a watermelon piece and he had flip-flops on, of course.
It was the first time Antoine ever had a fruit.
Yes. Oh no, it
Was it actually your first time eating watermelon?
Yeah, it
Yes,
was.
that is completely true. And he
I've
ate it
ruined
with
watermelon
such
for the
vigor.
rest of your life.
It's
Why
good,
would you
it's
say
good.
that?
Because he'll never have a homegrown watermelon probably again until I grow him another one.
Yeah, it was a homegrown from Bray's garden and that was
From Farmer
fantastic.
Falls Farm. I mean, that just means you have to grow another one so he can eat another watermelon
Yeah.
for the second time in his life.
Next time we go to an event or something, you have to bring me some.
Next party, I'll grow you one.
Awesome. Alright, next question will be number 7. Okay, that's a bit of a tricky one, but not too difficult. How many subscribers do you have on YouTube as of today?
Approximately.
I just passed 80K like 2 days ago, so it's like 80,000, like 100 something probably.
It's actually 80.4k.
0.4?
Yeah.
No way.
So you became very popular this morning, I guess.
Wow!
It's those shorts, man. You never know when the shorts are gonna do well.
Yeah.
It takes months sometimes.
And you're a king at shorts, so that helps.
We love it. Congrats!
Yeah, nice. Almost 100k, maybe in a few weeks.
Maybe.
We'll see.
Other
Alright.
question. Which of the 3 narrowband filters is the worst at blocking light pollution from the city?
03.
Wow! You got a clap for Antoine.
Yeah. 03 is definitely the worst when you're imaging from home, compared to HA and S2 for sure.
Write that down, children.
So if you guys can, just image like HA and S2 from home and just go somewhere like in the desert for 03 or something, if you really want the best outcome. But yeah, 03 kind of sucks from home. But it's still better than nothing, I guess. Wait, I don't have a picture for that?
Nope.
I don't, okay. Alright, so next one, we have 2 questions left.
Is a question from me by me because I was curious. So this question is, what is the name of the cool space-themed restaurant that you can only find at Walt Disney World in Epcot?
Space 220.
Yay!
Okay.
Also, no bonus points.
Oh, wait, that was okay.
I'm just curious. Was it cool? Did you like it?
It was very cool, but the service was not as great as how cool it was. Because the person at the front greeted us, and I was like, "It's Lanchan's birthday." They asked if it was a special occasion, and then they didn't bring her a cupcake. I had to go like ask her. So they
It's
dropped the
an
ball.
outrage.
At Disney?
I know, it was really like out of character for Disney, but it was so hard to get reservations. We had to get the app that like notifies you when they open up. It was a whole thing, but
Yeah.
we got them like the day before.
Yeah, so if you guys don't know, this is, I guess, a restaurant at Disney World, right?
Walt Disney World.
Where you can eat, and I guess there's a space window, so you cannot feel like you're eating in a spaceship, which is really cool.
Man, it looks so cool. I was like, oh, I'm so jealous
Yeah,
because it looks
cool.
so fun, but also the ridiculousness of getting reservations, ridiculous.
And,
I hope the
since-
food was good at least.
Yeah, the food was really good. Honestly, so many people cancel like the day of or before. I feel like you could get lucky like most of the time.
Let's go to Walt Disney World.
Okay.
You heard it here. You heard it here, everybody. Okay.
No, next time I go to Florida is for a space launch, and then maybe we'll
And
go
you
sometime.
can take me to Disney World.
But before we move on, we missed the last picture, so you guys can see here like HSO difference of signal from home. H and S are so much more bright than O3, which has almost nothing in there. But if you went to like a dark site, you would have a better signal for O3 for sure. Okay.
Oh, my
And so-
chester made me itchy.
We have one last question, and just so you guys know, after this we're doing the raffle, so last chance for the Pegasus Astro box raffle. Just use one super chat of any kind and you'll be entered in there. Alright, last question for Bray. You are handy with your engineer background. So much so that you built a telescope for the first time at the cost of what feels like
An
five-
adult $5.
like $5, yeah. It looks like a super cheap scope. What was the actual cost of the telescope?
If you factor in the paper towel roll, I think, how much are paper towels these days? Like $5 for a singular roll? I have no idea. If you factor that in that and then the lenses, it's probably 25, but it was the worst thing I've ever made. It was really funny. It had so much astigmatism that it was just embarrassing.
So you guys can see here Bray's beautiful Dobsonian-like telescope using a TP, no, not a TP, but like a paper roll thingy. And I think 2 mirrors, right? You use like 2 very small mirrors?
Lenses.
Oh, lenses, yeah.
Yeah, it was 2 convex lenses. One, they have to be different focal lengths. One was like a 500 and one was like 100, so it was 5x magnification.
Oh, smart.
Yeah,
So
when
it's
you
like
hook up the
refractor.
camera to it, you only need the one. But yeah, refractor style.
Did you try putting your like cooled camera at the back or something? No?
I did. I put my I put a 183 mm on the back, and I did a HA image of Orion.
Oh, I think I saw
With-
the picture. Yeah, nice.
It was
Very nice.
awful, terrible.
Hey, better than nothing.
But you're just so handy. And then you said the word janky in that video, and I was like, it was just so funny. I liked it. I appreciated like how casual you are like when your videos. That's your gift. So keep it up.
All
Thank
right.
you.
Yeah, I think she got 9 out of 10 questions right.
Which is an A.
Yes. Same for Chuck. I think he got 9 out of 10 too. Very cool.
As I remembered the dates, I thought for sure I would be totally lost on that.
Look, if you know your mom's birthday, your birthday, and Lynchon's birthday, you're good. I don't know about your dad. Maybe that one's easy to remember too, so as long as you got those, you're good. You're good.
And
I don't
so
know if I have all of this.
while we count the raffle entries, you guys can go ahead and ask Bray your questions, which I think we'll ask at the very end. We're just going to prepare the spin wheel here really quick.
Yeah.
So can you count how many we have?
Yep. That's it. That also counts.
14?
That also counts everybody who
Okay.
submitted chats before.
So I'm just going to place
Anton's gonna work on that.
14 slots in the spin wheel.
So Bray, now that we have put you in the hot seat and taken you out, you can put us in the hot seat and ask us any questions you have.
What's your favorite telescope?
I would love to have a Takahashi 106, but I do love reflectors. I would go with an Epsilon E180 if I was sure there would be no like tilt or collimation issues. I tried one once and it was badly either collimated or badly and those tilt, so I didn't really enjoy it. But if I had that telescope that was perfectly fine, I would love it.
There's
Dang.
always tilt.
Yeah. You went off the really hardcore, and me, I'm very simple. I'm like, I would love to have a red cat. I think it is so cute. I think its built-in batten-off mask is so cute. It's red, and I like red. I don't know what else to say about that. I know you got one, and
Ooh,
there
yes.
it is. I know you have one because I saw that you made a video about it.
Nice.
Yes.
With the nice focuser, right?
And it's just so stinking cute. Like, what? They have no business making it so cute. I would put ears
I know.
on it, though.
The cats. It's so sweet.
You put ears on your scope?
I would put, like, little, like, ears on it.
Oh my.
Then it would be, like, a true kitty cat.
Okay, think.
Somebody says, bring Dylan O'Donnell on Galactic Show 3.
Yeah, we'll have to ask you guys at the end who you want to see next, because we have a huge list of people we love, including Nico, for example, who's here right now. But we have to ask you guys at the end who you want to see next. Nico asked, by the way, Bray, any downsides about Namibia?
Yeah, every place has its downsides. In Namibia, they're really slow to respond to emails. Dealing with issues, the Wi-Fi goes down pretty regularly. But the upsides is it's really cheap and it's so clear. I've imaged every single night for like the last 3.5 months. So
Wait,
it's just...
if I can ask, how cheap are you talking about?
They charge 3,500 euros per year. So it ends up being like half the cost of Chile, but very difficult to get your stuff there. Difficult to work with them via email. The shipping and the VAT tax.
The shipping, yeah.
Yeah, what I love about the Utah one that I currently use is they have a Discord chat and you can just talk in there and it's very fast. I wish I had that everywhere. It's very nice.
Yeah, there's some places that are like more commercial and they're like, yes, let's get lots of people in here, like UDRO, SRO, like. But there's some places that are mom and pop, and Namibia is more one of those. Like they don't really care how many peers they have rented out. It's just there. Yeah. And you have to like work with them and be okay with being patient, and then it works out. But yeah, it was a big risk with the shipping and everything. That's the other.
Yeah, I always wondered about that because I'm like, oh man, like, you know, you have to ship that so far away and hope that it gets there, and like that's your stuff, you know.
But weren't you hoping to get that yourself?
One day, it's like 1,600 to fly there, so and it's a 29-hour flight.
Ooh,
so I didn't. Yeah, I was like, I'll just ship it there. The only reason I would have gone there is to avoid the VAT tax, which isn't guaranteed. Like when you go through customs, they might open up your stuff and like make you pay a VAT tax. But then again, you have to fly with all your stuff, which is impractical.
Which is also really difficult.
Which just answers James's question, so that's perfect. I guess we can spin the wheel now, just so it's done.
The raffle is closed. It's been closed. I'm saying that officially now. And we're going to spin the wheel. And we're not going to be wrong this time because I counted.
Yeah, last time we had a huge fail.
I figured it out, guys. I figured it out.
But this time we won't fail.
Do you remember how Antoine just threw me under the bus? That was so funny, wasn't it?
It was really fun for me. Alright, so we have 14 entries, right?
14 entries.
So we have 14 numbers on the wheel. And whoever gets, if we have like number 5, for example, we'll go over the 5th person to have entered the raffle from the bottom. So let's go ahead and spin the wheel.
Good luck.
Good luck to everyone.
$14.
How do you know it's 14?
Can you read?
It's not 14, Dania, it's 4. No?
That's a 1 and a 4, my friend.
Oh, it's white on white. Why do you see that?
Bray, would you help
14,
us out?
14, yeah, okay, 14.
Yeah, that's a 14.
Wait, so the winner is the last one then?
Yeah,
it's Adrift.
Yeah, Adrift with number 1. For $2, you have won this raffle. Yay!
Yes.
Wait a second. Congratulations!
See, it's important to enter even in the last second because Adrift did it and he won.
You know what's so weird is the last time it was also 14, so...
Oh yeah. This really must be rigged.
We're gonna have to check that out next time just in case, because that's really, really coincidental.
Adrift, make sure you please email us just so we
Please.
get your address. I mean, we get you in contact with the company that does the boxes. So Pegasus Astro, thanks again to Pegasus Astro. Very nice of them to enter the raffle and sponsor it. So yeah, email us whenever you want and we'll send you
Where can he email? Or they? Where can they email?
info@galactic
Hyphen?
yeah, hunter.com. Alright, and yeah, if you guys don't have any more questions, I think that's probably the end of the show. So that was very fun. Thanks, Bray, for being here despite I think you have a slight cold, but thank you so much for
I know, thank you so much for
sticking
coming.
through it. And that was very fun to have you here.
Yeah, thanks for having me. It was a lot of fun.
I mean, I feel like this is a time where we're like, plug your stuff, like what you're doing next. But like, clearly everybody knows who you are. Like you're more famous than us. So it's like, plug your channels. But is there a project you're working on right now? Maybe something people don't know about?
YouTube is my main project right now. So go to my YouTube, follow my YouTube. Other than that, it's just Oxygen 3 surveys. That's my life right now. YouTube.
Yay!
Yeah, Bray might have like 1,000 discoveries in the next future.
You're always going to be the Duke of Discoveries.
If Pascal ever replies to you.
Yeah, you never know with him.
Who's my dad's name, by the way?
And if you need some ideas for other videos, I think I saw some people asking a lot of questions to you, so you can come back to this chat, and that's your next video.
Yeah, it's a good content.
Oh yeah, it's good, man.
And just last question, Bray, who would you like to see next in the show in the next few months?
Ooh, I feel like Dylan would be really funny, and Nico as well. I'd be curious to.
I think those two are the most popular options right now from people. Okay.
Yeah.
Awesome. Well, thanks everyone, and I guess we'll see you in the next show, which we'll try to do every month. So, we'll see you guys next time, and thanks again, Bray, one last time. And
Bray, thank you. Take care of your cold. I hope you feel better. Thanks again for joining us. If you're not subscribed to Astrofalls, subscribe to him.
And good luck with your new discoveries nonstop.
Thanks for watching, everyone.
Alright, guys. Bye. See ya.